I was struggling with anxiety, depression, bit of body dysmorphia. I didn't quite realise the mess I was in until it was at the point where if I didn't make a decision, it was beyond the point of return. I probably wouldn't have made it past week 2 if it wasn't for the way that they sort of got behind me and rallied round me and gave me that sort of extra boost of like, you could do this, even though I felt like I was dying every time I walked out there.
Obesity has more than doubled in adults worldwide since 1990, and adolescent obesity has quadrupled in this time. The latest global figures for 2022 show that 2.5 billion adults were overweight. Of these, 890 million were living with obesity. 64% of adults in England were estimated to be overweight or living with obesity in 2022. Obesity costs the NHS around £6.5 billion a year and is the second biggest preventable cause of cancer. Living with obesity can also increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which can lead to coronary heart disease and stroke. The financial cost of obesity to society is only part of the story. Arguably, the more important part is the personal cost to those struggling with their weight and their families. Man v Fat is the UK's leading weight loss programme for men. The initiative is backed by the FA and helps men to team up with like-minded others who are all on a mission to lose weight through their love of football. Players' weekly weight loss contributes to the score of their football matches, so every pound counts. Here in Basingstoke, 12 six-a-side teams compete in a league format competition. The teams have creative names such as Pork Vale, Kebabadine and Oldham Unathletic. Diet and nutrition guidance from a qualified coach is available to all players, as well as access to a mental health platform and to Man v Fat's online gym.
It's a weight loss programme exclusively for men with a BMI of 27.5 or higher. And how it works is members will come to a session, they'll weigh in, they'll have a chat with myself or the assistant coach about their week and what's been going on before they then go and play their game or their fixture. And members can score points for their team by losing weight or by scoring goals on the pitch or by completing their tracking, which is a log of their food and their drink and their exercise activity that they've done for that week. And also they can take part in weekly league challenges which are set by the coach. So essentially there's lots of different ways in which members can contribute towards their team's final result, which is quite nice. Man v Fat provides consistent support and accountability for members from both myself as coach and also their teammates. It's obviously holistic in its approach in that it includes support with increasing physical activity and also aiding mental health and well-being as well. And it gives members weekly competition, a good fun game of football, and ultimately it's a comfortable and welcoming environment that members really do look forward to coming to every week.
Ryan Costa from North East Hampshire has been struggling with his weight for many years. He joined Man v Fat Basingstoke in June 2023 and has made incredible progress since then.
So week 1 I weighed 203 kilos. I was a mess. I couldn't walk, couldn't breathe, all that sort of stuff. And now I think today I weighed in, I think it was 151 or 152. I think my lowest was about a 55 kilo weight loss in total over the time I've been here, but I've fluctuated a little bit recently. So before I started here, a lot of people would describe me even before this is quite a happy, bubbly, in-your-face person. But deep down I had a lot of insecurities, I hid it through comedy. That was my kind of thing. I was struggling with anxiety, depression, bit of body dysmorphia. I didn't quite realise the mess I was in until it was at the point where if I didn't make a decision, it was beyond the point of return. So I spent a lot of time, I couldn't sleep, ended up getting sleep apnea, got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and that then compounded onto my sort of mental health. I wasn't leaving the house apart from going to work. I was in a really dark place. It affected sort of my friendships, my relationship. caused money problems because I was just comfort eating, takeaways, things like that. It all sort of compounds, and I was in a really dark place. Whereas today I wake up and I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? I've got energy. I'm getting about. I'm playing football 3 times a week. It sounds really stupid, but even things like just keeping my house tidy. I'm getting up and thinking I want to enjoy today. I want to be able to be in a space that I'm comfortable in. Whereas before I was quite happy to just sit there at a desk and play my computer and sort of eat my feelings away and not talk about it. Whereas now I'm trying to help other people within this community that are new, that were in a situation I was in, and a whole new outlook in life for me, really. This has made such a huge difference, like massive difference.
Another player, Matthew Foster, has struggled with his weight for about 10 years. He only joined Man v Fat Basingstoke 10 months ago, and he has already lost a staggering 45 kilograms.
Yes, I started at 162 kilos as the first weigh-in, so my goal is to get to within like 95 to sort of get under that 100 mark. It's that thing that you enjoy, so like I don't see coming and playing football as doing exercise, like if you know what I mean. So like going to gym, I'm just doing exercise, trying to get fit. If I'm going for run to fit, I enjoy playing football, so I'm doing something I enjoy with the off the pitch sort of weight loss goals and stuff like that. It gives you that bit more motivation to eat well in the week. And as soon as I started doing well and seeing how I could do for my team and even in the individual awards, you're like, oh, I want to keep that going and make sure I lose each week. So that's definitely, and you're just around people that have the same struggles, so they understand when you achieve this, you go down a t-shirt size, they can really understand how great that feels.
90% of players at Man v Fat who complete their first season lose weight. The programme currently supports more than 8,500 men across 170 clubs in the UK. Their players have lost a combined total of over £700,000 in body weight. With the opportunity to play competitive football multiple times a week and feeling accountable to ensure they lose weight for themselves and the team, there is a fantastic community spirit in Basingstoke, which ensures players stay committed to the programme. So how do Matthew and Ryan reflect on their journey with Man v Fat so far?
To stay as long as I can, to be fair, because they'll get to a point, obviously I'll probably get to a good fitness level, but I like the community here. I've got made good friends here playing, and also just as I get older, and start to slow down from just old age, I think it's a good place to play. You see some guys here playing in their 50s still being able to do it.
I know I'm in a better place than I am now, but I know I'm still overweight. I know that people would still have that preconceived idea when they see me of that's a big guy, not knowing where I've come from. And I want to squash that stigma around when people look at me. And it doesn't really matter what people think, but for me it's that subconscious, that little bit that still bites away. So about 105, but in terms of the programme, I can't see myself leaving. This gives me so much more than just playing some football. Like some of my closest friends have come from this now. Like I speak to on a daily, weekly basis. I go and play 11s football with these guys. I'm playing competitive football in a Fat Man League of football that we've created as a community amongst teams across the south. I don't want to go back to just sitting at home. This motivates me to not go backwards. So I wouldn't leave this. Like this has been really key for me and a real turning point in my life.
Alex Cook is an inspiration to others and an outstanding success story from the Man v Fat programme. He is the winner of the 2024 Amazing Loser Award, having lost 70 kilograms of excess body weight in the space of 12 months. I travelled to meet him to find out about his weight loss journey.
So basically the award stands for the biggest weight loss loser over the past year at Man v Fat. When I joined after COVID, I was 202 kilograms, which is 31, 32 stone. That was at my biggest. It was coming off slowly for about a year, and then all of a sudden, like I say, I had a bit of a change in mindset, and then I started losing quite regularly, sort of thing. My lowest was 101 kilos, which was my aim, to lose half my body weight, which is what I did. And there was times when I was losing weight week on week, and I was loving it, and then all of a sudden you hit a wall for about 3 or 4 weeks where you don't seem to lose weight. There was a few times where I halted in weight and I couldn't lose, but I didn't lose faith really, and I carried on. My thing that I did really was portion sizes. My portion sizes was dramatically dropped. and I started eating a lot of protein. I was going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I was doing man v fat. I was playing football other night times a week. I probably play football 3 or 4 times a week. Yes, I'm a goalkeeper, and a lot of people say, well, you're not doing much in goal, but which is probably right.
Since losing the weight, how has Alex's day-to-day life changed?
Going up the stairs, like you're going up the stairs in your house and you're not out of breath. Walking a lot more. Like I say, I've had 2 new knees, and I'm doing so much more exercise. I just feel so much better in myself. Going to theme parks and that, because you can get on the rides, putting your socks on, and where you're not struggling because you're so big, which at the time when you're big you don't realise what a chore it is or how hard it is and how it takes it out of you. I've always described it as Weight Watchers for men with football. If men want to lose weight and they're into football, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to do it?
Man v Fat celebrated their 10th anniversary last year. The programme was founded by Andrew Shanahan. Confronting his own weight issues, he discovered that there were no weight loss programmes specifically designed for men. After attending a slimming club session at which he was the only man in the room, he went on to create the Man v Fat brand.
For a long time, men haven't engaged in traditional public health services. So as men, we're not very good at thinking about our mental health, we're not very good at thinking about our physical health, we don't necessarily make decisions that are always based around our appearance or how we feel, we sometimes do what's expected of us. So the idea was that with only 15% of those who get weight loss support in the UK being male, that there was a real opportunity here to build a community and a space where men could not just make physical health changes, which obviously, the name Man v Fat really champions, but also we've built a mental health community, we've built a social community. Often guys come into the programme thinking that they're going to be losing weight and that's going to be their main goal, but actually that new social connectivity they have, that new body confidence, that new self-efficacy, those are all the things that actually guys go away with feeling so much better about themselves, which is what keeps them on that journey. One of the biggest things about men engaging in health services and public health services is they don't typically feel like they're for them. So often guys, for example, often guys won't resonate with a traditional blue NHS logo. They think that weight loss is often feminised. So actually being able to lean into things that the brand is proud of and things that attract guys is really, really important. So the language that we use, having that direct element around we're called Man v Fat because we're taking on a battle with fat. That for us is something that men can relate to. Again, with the football side of things, so Man v Fat football, we know that football is the UK's national game, and whilst there's been incredible improvements in the women's game over the recent years, obviously we know that almost every man in the UK will have played football at some point, so we know it's something that a lot of them will enjoy, and a lot of them are often armchair supporters but don't want to be.
Man v Fat football started 7 years ago. The first club in Solihull had 60 members. Now there are 156 clubs across the UK. And the programme has supported over 30,000 men.
We know that young men and middle-aged men are the most likely to commit suicide in the UK. So guys are waking up to looking after each other. And our biggest sort of ways that guys are hearing about us is through word of mouth, through national PR, and through social channels as well. But just that normalisation that it's okay to talk to other guys about your mental health, your physical health, just that normalisation that actually being a healthy weight is a good thing to do.
I want to explore the causes of increasing levels of obesity and how it can best be tackled on a personal basis through adopting healthy eating habits and activity levels. Daniel Alcock is a nutritionist at Millfield School, an industry-renowned sports school in Glastonbury. He is an accredited SCNR nutritionist, meaning he is able to work with and advise performance-orientated athletes, as well as people participating in physical activity, sport, and exercise for health purposes.
I think given that the current cost of living crisis, everything particularly food becoming more expensive. It's becoming harder for people to buy nutritionally complete options, especially those fruit and veggies that are often imported. I think people are very time poor at the moment. Obviously, given that cost of living crisis, people are working more, having to spend more hours doing things outside of cooking, so they're looking for fast fixes, so like fast food, frozen meals, those sorts of things, which are typically quite calorie dense and nutrient poor. I guess other reasons include people having lack of knowledge in appropriate cooking and making nutritious options. People sort of get stuck in that rut of taking calorie dense options and those fast food options. So often their behaviours that have contributed to their weight gain cause them to continue to keep that weight on. So if you're eating a lot of calorie dense options, you're not moving very much, you're more likely to gain weight, and obviously vice versa if you're moving a lot and not eating very much. The main scientific principles behind a healthy diet is having fruit and veg, so having a variety of colours of fruit and veg within your diet. Fluid intake, so most people in the UK are chronically dehydrated. I guess not only the UK, across the world, chronically dehydrated. So making sure you're drinking 2 to 3 litres of water a day, constantly sipping on water. Protein intake, so trying to aim for 1.5 pounds worth of protein per meal. And then also carbohydrate intake is really important, but predominantly coming from whole grain carbohydrates. And in terms of healthy lifestyle, just moving around, so walking instead of driving to places, taking the stairs instead of taking the lift, but just being more active generally, building in that exercise within your lifestyle so it just becomes a normal part of your lifestyle.
Following the success of achieving the phenomenal goal of losing 50% of his body weight on the Man v Fat programme in Portsmouth, Alex is now head coach at Man v Fat Southampton, where he is determined to help others change their lives in the way he has been able to. Alex still weighs himself every week and is confident that he will remain around his current weight.
I'm missing playing myself. I still play other places, but the camaraderie and the friendship and what have you, I do miss that. I feel like one of the lads, sort of thing. I don't feel like I'm better than anyone else just because I've lost the weight and everything. I don't feel that at all. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy helping other people. Whenever I go and see relatives, they're always go, "Oh my God, where have you gone?" and stuff like that. And they all want to know how I've done it and where I've done it. And it's like having a new life. It's like having a new life.
Celebrating success is a huge part of what we do at Man v Fat, and we want to ensure that members' weight loss and their achievements are recorded and celebrated. But we know that obviously it goes way beyond weight loss, so we also have the Man v Fat Awards. That's one of our best events of the year, and it brings together the community. Usually we have a fantastic representation from across all clubs. We look at things like Referee of the Year, Coach of the Year, Community Partner of the Year, as well as Amazing Losers. And talking of Amazing Losers, that's arguably our most powerful event. So every year we bring together 40 guys who have lost the most weight percentage-wise across the community. And since we've been doing that, that threshold has grown from 25% getting you access to the game to now this year being 30 to 31%, with the lowest criteria for guys accessing that game. Effectively, what we do is bring these guys together. We hire out typically a Football League stadium or a Premier League stadium. We get in some ex-managers or professionals. So, for example, we've had the likes of Ian Holloway, George Ellakobi, Paul Parker, and the guys get to basically play a game in front of their loved ones in that quality stadium under the guidance of a former pro, with their weight loss celebrated on the back of their number. And when you see these guys who go from maybe thinking that they weren't going to even kick a ball 2 or 3 years ago ever again, to playing a 90-minute match in a stadium like that in front of their friends and family and being cheered on by their children and their partners, it really is quite a special moment. So celebrating success and making sure that guys recognise how far they've come is a huge part of what we do.